So as a Catholic, I want to appreciate the work our Catholic MPs initiative is doing and the support of not just my colleagues in Parliament, but also the support of my church, the Catholic Church, for the position we have taken on this matter, which is very crucial. After this meeting, I'll be meeting the leadership of NAMLEF and various Islamic organizations in the afternoon today, actually from 3. I've spent the last 2 days meeting various other churches and their leadership, particularly those ones who are trained on matters medicine and various specialties. And I want to say that the support of Kenyans as we sanction the place of our family is appreciated. I've been receiving a lot of prayers through my phone, and as I do so, I've also been receiving a lot of threats from people who are pushing this demonic agenda on our country. The point I want to make is that Kenya is a constitutional democracy. It's founded on the Constitution and our laws. There is no right, if you look at the Constitution of Kenya and the laws we have in this country, to be gay, to be a lesbian, to be transgender, or to be queer, which is what the Q stands for in Lgbtq. To the contrary, we should read the provisions of Article 45 of the Constitution. First, it places the family at the very heart of the society. In fact, what it says is that the family is the fundamental unit of the society. At sub-article 2 of Article 45, it says only people of opposite gender can marry one another. And that is the law of Kenya. And remember, in the African context, and more so in the Kenyan context, something like sex is to be abstained from until within the context of marriage and family, so that you understand it extends throughout. If you look at the penal code at sections 162 down to 165, homosexuality and these unnatural sexual acts are expressly prohibited. Our Constitution has been applauded across the world as one of the best in terms of its human rights prescriptions. I want you Kenyans to ask these people saying there are rights to be gay and lesbian to show us what article of the provision of the Constitution is this that gives anybody the right to be gay or to be lesbian. And that is why we are saying today that we cannot permit immoralities which are expressly prohibited by our laws. I'm very saddened, and I think we need to move in speed, that despite the existence of all those laws I'm mentioning, people are openly promoting gayism in our country. If you go just straight away from here, somewhere around Arboretum, they have a building bigger than Parliament with their flag flying there. And this is happening despite the fact that it is criminal to engage in that enterprise they have officers for in Kenya. So we want to deal in our bill with those people who are promoting, with those people who are aiding and abetting, the people running those sacred places for such purposes. We want even to sanction law enforcement agencies. Because you can ask yourself, if the police are not acting, what remedy are Kenyans left with? And I want to tell the Kenyan people that we are giving the police notice to move and enforce the existing law. If there is failure, we'll now be moving Kenyans to exercise their right to undertake citizenship arrest. And we are saying this because we are past the time when this thing was being pushed. Let Kenyans go into the slum areas of Nairobi. Go to the low-class areas of all towns, including Mutembei town. These people are recruiting our youths, our young people, the future of this society, for as low as 500 shillings into these acts. So this thing has pervaded the society. I'm aware this thing is in all government offices. This thing is even in parliament. This thing is even in the media. This thing is percolating all over. But I want to tell the people imagining we can withdraw, because I've been receiving threats telling me, Kaluma, withdraw from that enterprise. Tell them to study my history with matters concerning the family. Yeah. We brought down the slave queens the other day. Kaluma brought the Marriage Act, which has consolidated all marriage laws. Up to the time we brought the Matrimonial Property Act, Kenya was relying on 1882 laws of England on matrimonial property. On family, there is no backpedaling. And don't call me to say I'll not go to your country. What do we lack in Kenya? Yeah. You can cancel your stupid visa. Yeah. I was a short while back in a foreign country, and you can imagine being approached by a fellow man asking me to go out and mess with him, sleep with him. And the guy has the audacity to tell me I look nicely round. Can you imagine? What a level of perversion. So I'm telling our people that this is an enterprise which is going on. There is no reverse gear, and it is going to succeed. On the day this bill is going to be tabled, it is going to be Kenya versus Sodom and Gomorrah, the other side. Yeah. Anybody who will rise to oppose will belong, and Kenyans will see them, to Sodom and Gomorrah immediately. And as Kenyans will fight very hard, and I know we are more than the people of Sodom and Gomorrah sent in this parliament. I know we will succeed. So I appreciate what is happening. The bill has been drafted. We are now waiting for parliament to move forward. But as we do that, we want to encourage our institutions to know that they exist for Kenya, not for foreign powers. Do you find it any coincidental that that determination by a majority of the bench members in the Supreme Court was handed down when the First Lady of the United States of America was arriving in Kenya? It's not a coincidence. Is it coincidental that then you see her giving us some 16 billion for hunger? This hunger of ours, which makes people think our moralities can be bought. Why don't we have measures to end it? And remember, imagine, even if you are a child, the Supreme Court rightly says these things are criminal acts in Kenya. They're not just sins. But then the Supreme Court goes ahead and says that the association of these criminals still has to be registered. What are you talking about? What a contradiction. It's like telling convicts, murder convicts, you can register murderers association. What will stop terrorists from approaching the NGO's board to say we also want to be registered? It will stop rapists from saying we can now be registered. Yeah. We are going back to that Supreme Court, and I'm encouraged by the position taken by the churches. Yeah. Because people think you cannot appeal to the Supreme Court, but you can go back for a relook, review. And I take courage in the fact that only 3 judges of the Supreme Court decided so. 2 dissented and 2 were not there. We are going back to that Supreme Court with the religious organizations, the churches, and everybody, and we are going to request the Supreme Court in their full bench of 7 in number to review that position. And if they don't, then I want to remind the Supreme Court and our court system to begin reading where they derive their power from.
The people.
They are exercising the delegated power of the people of Kenya, not some perverts or their external funders. We may not even end at disbanding that Supreme Court, but we can have a law, because the Constitution also says nobody, no authority, including the Supreme Court, has the power to make any provision with the force of law other than this parliament. Yes. So if we don't succeed in that Supreme Court, there will be a provision in the bill we are going to propose that will deregister, if they would have been registered, any organization encouraging or promoting this vice. That is our position. We want the education sector to work around it. We want the law enforcement to do their work. And we want everybody to be on the alert, more so for their children. For truly, these are the future of our society. But this is a battle we must succeed on. And it's a battle that anybody pushing it down our throats will never win. If it is what will make Kenya poor, I don't think Uganda is any poorer, having passed it. I've read the Constitution. People are saying, what right? What we are saying is that we will arrest you if you engage in these criminal acts in Kenya. And when we take you to court, we will give you your right to fair hearing.
Yeah, that's the fact.
So get your lawyer. We will give you your right to fair hearing. That is the right you have under the Constitution. If you mess up with your bodies, you hurt yourselves in those unnatural behavior, we will treat you subject to your paying for it. Yeah. We cannot treat you for free because you have a right to Medicare. Yeah. But we need to protect our system so that the society really is sanctioned. I'm very happy with my church, the Catholic Church. And I'm very happy with the other religious organizations, including the Muslims, the Hindus. And I'm happy that the church is, voicing their moral position and their position as an institution in this church. I thank you very much.
Thank you.